Alright guys, we have a severe weather update as of Wednesday, June 29th, 2022 at 10:06 a.m. We got our new day one outlook here, and we got a slight in both the Dakotas and a little bit of Minnesota. We have marginal surrounding that, stretching from Minnesota down to Utah. And we also have one in here in the what do you call that? The New England area. So that's what it is called. So the cities that are in slight risk include Fargo, North Dakota, Grand Forks, North Dakota, Moorhead, North Dakota, Aberdeen, South Dakota, and Watertown, South Dakota. And for the people in the marginal risk, Salt Lake City, Utah, West Valley, Utah, Provo, Utah, West Jordan, Utah, and Albany, New York. So the tornado threat is 2% for the North Dakota and Minnesota, but there's no tornado risk out in Utah or up in the New England area. So the only places that are going to experience maybe a isolated tornado would be Fargo, North Dakota, Grand Forks, North Dakota, Moorhead, Minnesota, West Fargo, North Dakota, and Jamestown, North Dakota. Now, we do have a 15% wind risk and a 5% hail risk. So that 5%, wind risk. 5% wind risk is out in New England. That's the marginal risk. We also have a 5% out stretching from Minnesota to Utah, where the hail is also, or the wind is also, could be damaging winds, and also there's a 15% of the damaging wind, and there's also a significant severe. So the cities in the significant severe is Aberdeen, South Dakota, Watertown, South Dakota, Prairie, South Dakota, and Huron, South Dakota. In the 15%, Fargo, North Dakota, Grand Forks, North Dakota, Moorhead, Minnesota, Aberdeen, South Dakota, Watertown, South Dakota. And the 5% is Salt Lake City, Utah, West Valley, Utah, Provo, Utah, West Jordan, Utah, and Albany, New York. So, yep. And lastly, we have the day one hail risk. So we do have a 50% hail risk in the slight and 5% in the marginal. We don't have any hail risks in New England. So we do have a significant severe too, as you can clearly see. So the locations that is in the significant severe: Fargo, North Dakota, Grand Forks, North Dakota, Moorhead, Minnesota, West Fargo, North Dakota, and Jamestown, North Dakota. And the 15%, Fargo, North Dakota, Grand Forks, North Dakota, Moorhead, Minnesota, West Fargo, North Dakota, and Jamestown, North Dakota. And the 5% goes to Bismarck, North Dakota, Aberdeen, South Dakota, Watertown, South Dakota, Brookings, South Dakota, and Mandan, South Dakota. So now, the summary is: severe hail and thunderstorm gusts are most likely this afternoon and tonight over parts of the Dakotas into western Minnesota. So if any of you are in those risk areas, even up into New England, be sure to stay safe from weather impacts, as most likely will happen today. So yeah, stay tuned for weather impacts, some watches, probabilities, and severe thunderstorm watches. So be weather aware and stay safe.